Hey guys, it's Grace from Graceful Bricks. This is a trigger warning. This video is going to talk about suicide, self-harm, and a friend of mine who actually did commit suicide. So, if you're not ready for that, if it's going to be too much, please skip this video. If you do listen to it and you're adversely affected, please reach out to myself, to others, to people you trust and love. There's lots of different places you can reach out to, so please do. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Love you. Thanks so much. Why, hello there. It's Grace from Graceful Bricks. So today I wanted to share a couple more stories about my out of my head sculptures, and I've got a bunch of them. For if you're not aware, there's a whole out of my head playlist. The out of my head series is trying to make visual what mental illness feels like. So it's kind of a challenge, but it's one that I've been working on for a while, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So let me show you a couple sculptures. So the first one's kind of big, so I'm going to back up a little bit here. So most of my sculptures, in fairness, are not really huge, but occasionally I like to go big. So let's see here. This is, see, like I can't even fit, like there's the top of it. Okay, here's the top, and then whoa, there's the whole head. So let me bring the head a bit closer, and we'll look at that. So with this one, I wanted to make glasses. That was part of why I wanted to build it. So this part here, these are supposed to be glasses. They're really big. They're giant wheels from different Lego sets, and I thought they looked pretty cool. I dig it. And so you can sort of see that we got the glasses frame up here. And then the mouth is like one of the classic Lego turrets up here. So we got glasses, we got the frame, and then on top of the whole sculpture, I'm going to again back up so you can get a sense of the perspective. Okay, it's pretty big. And then I'm going to zoom in for you. So you can see we've got these little micro figures. They're actually statuettes. They were designed to be held by minifigures and look like an Oscar award or a trophy. So that's what those are. And then you've got, let's see if I can get a good contrast here. This building with, let's see if I can do this with one hand so I can show you what I'm looking at. So you've got these big spires and these tall building all the way up to the top, which is not the flag of Denmark, although it does look a lot like it. So it's designed to be a hospital. So it's designed to be a medical flag, you know, the white cross, the red cross, that sort of thing. But as you can see, like I took it off because I can. This is one that actually does come apart. As you can see, the people are all the way down here, and they gotta somehow get up this whole huge, really difficult to climb tower, and there's the medical system up here. The tower I kind of want it to look like Orthanc. If you're familiar with Lord of the Rings, or you've seen any of the Lord of the Rings Lego, it's this big tower that Saruman the White, who's a wizard, has, and he traps Gandalf at the top. Yeah, I'm nerding out. I like Lord of the Rings. I love the movies. I love the books. So you've got these little people at the bottom, right? They're infinitesimally small. How are they supposed to reach the medical system? So I live in Canada, And one of the things Canada's known for is having free medical health care. So we don't have to pay to go into a hospital or to see a doctor or any of those things. There are still things we have to pay for, like medication or things like that, but there's a lot that's covered. And so I've been lucky enough to not have to go massively into debt to see doctors, to see psychiatrists, to get treated. But it doesn't mean that it's any less hard. I've done a lot of therapy with a lot of therapists, and I was lucky in the cities where I used to live because there were free clinic days at different therapy offices. So you could go in and you could just do like a walk-in counseling thing, or you could book with a counselor and see them regularly, and they had a sliding scale. So for me, I live on social assistance. I can't work. My art is my work, and taking care of my mental health is my work. Still, it's been years. It's been years. And so there's access to get free therapy, but the problem is, in a lot of cases, the therapists aren't very specialized. They're social work students getting their hours at a placement, or they might be someone who you can see irregularly, but they're not specialized in what you need, per se. If you need a specialist to deal with trauma or gender issues or sexuality issues or addiction issues or all sorts of different things to really grapple with your mental health, often that costs hundreds of dollars every hour. Medication. I'm lucky because I'm on social assistance, and so my medication is covered. If it were not, it would be costing me hundreds upon hundreds of dollars every month, and I wouldn't be able to pay for it. It's actually one of the reasons why I am on social assistance and I don't work, because if I were to work, I'd have to start paying for my own medication eventually, and I wouldn't be able to afford it. So this sculpture I made for those reasons. The medical system is out of touch, even in a country where it's easy to access. The other thing is, people say, well, why don't you, you're struggling with your mental health. You need to go to the hospital. I have gone to the hospital for mental health reasons, and I have been rejected by the hospital. I've been taken to the hospital in handcuffs by a police officer from my doctor's office, as is the legal law requirement where I live, that if someone is a danger to themselves, the police must take you to the hospital. So, the police took me to the hospital in handcuffs in the back of a car. It was not a fun experience. And then they stood with me for 3 hours while I waited in triage. And then I sat in the back. They weren't treating me. I was just waiting. And I waited to see a psychiatrist who didn't really care, wasn't worried about me, a social worker who definitely wasn't worried about me, and they released me, even though I was suicidal, and brought in by the police on the recommendation of my family doctor. So after sitting there for 7 hours, I was released to go back home. In fact, they even gave me my medication back. The medication that I had come to my doctor and taken to the hospital because I was worried I would take an overdose. So yeah, I have had experiences like that. I also have had great experiences with people who go out of their way to help you. And those experiences are fantastic. But simply seeing a doctor, simply going to a therapist is not going to fix anything. It can for some people, but for a lot of people it's not. And it's just a long road to recovery, whatever recovery looks like. I'm still in recovery, and I've been on this for years. So this sculpture really shows the disconnect between the medical world and the people who are living it, I think, and the challenges that those people face. Just living it, living down in the trenches, so to speak, where the ivory tower has all the answers, but you can't get to it, and even if you could, you're still living down here, not up there. I'll share one other story, just kind of frustrating for me. Some years ago, I was recommended to a social services agency, and they, because I do art classes, clinics, I do presentations. I will present anywhere and everywhere with my Lego sculptures and get people building and talk about mental health, talk about these issues. So I was recommended to them. They talked with me and were like, yeah, we'd love to have you in to do like a program, a 6-week program. We can pay you a little bit for materials more than anything. I was like, that's okay. Being able to pay for some of the Lego that I'm going to be using is a great help. So like, I was recommended. I saw several people who ran the programs. They were like, this sounds great. We'd love to have you. Then I went into a meeting with some of the higher ups, and I was showing off some of my art, and I was talking about it, and they went, wait, hold on. You're going to talk about mental health? It's like, yeah, that's kind of what I do. And they were like, you're not a therapist, though. I'm like, no. You're not a social worker? No. You're not a doctor? No. They're like, then you can't. You can't do that. I was like, well, like, why would you want me to come and do things with Lego when all I do is Lego and mental health? They're like, oh, we thought you were just going to do Lego and build cars and stuff. I was like, no, that's not what I do. And I said, if I bring my stuff in and someone starts sharing with me that they're struggling, what do you want me to do? Tell them, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you about that because I'm not trained, and you'll have to go see someone else. And they said, yeah. And I said, thank you for the opportunity, but I am not interested in being part of this organization, if that's your response. Because people need help, and they need help from just other people. And it's not good enough to just show them the door and say, I'm not trained. I'm not approved to talk to you about this. This is the human condition. We're all trained in it. We're all good enough. And when someone comes to you struggling, you need to honor that and try to help them in some way. So here's another sculpture. And I really like this one. I'm really happy with it, but it's really sad too. So, and it gets to what I'm talking about. So we got this cool face down here. Like I used these pieces and little wing pieces, and so we got ears, we got a little mouth here. I like the nose. We got cheeks. And then up top here, it's a cemetery. It's a headstone with trees growing over it and grass. Um, I originally wanted this one. I was going to build a car and have it sort of be run down and have it rusting out and have a lot of growth and trees and nature sort of taking it over. But when I came to building it, that didn't work. I don't know why. Like sometimes that's what happens. I start building and the pieces speak to me in a way that I wasn't expecting. They will change what even I thought they were gonna do, and I love that, and I listen to that, and it's odd. Other artists will understand it, a song that wants to be born or a book that wants to be written and characters doing things that you never expected them to do. That happens with my Lego and with my sculptures. So this one's called Headstone. And I had a friend named JD. We met in university and we were good friends, and I spoke at his wedding, and years later, life changed and we reconnected and we were spending time with each other. And then one day I got a call that JD had committed suicide. And I didn't even know he was struggling. He hadn't told me. He hadn't told me that he was struggling with mental health things or suicidal ideation or any of that. And I realized that silence can be deadly. That not talking about these things can be a million times worse than having that uncomfortable conversation. So I swore I would never be quiet again. I also struggled myself with I had a really, really tough year where I spent a lot of it in a psych ward, where I was struggling with suicide and self-harm on a daily basis. This was quite a few years ago, and I didn't talk enough about it. I didn't reach out enough to people for help. And I realized afterwards that very nearly killed me. And so I refused to do that ever again. I'm going to speak out. I'm going to talk about things that are uncomfortable, whether that's mental health or living in poverty, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, any of those issues. I'm talking about it. Because if we don't, people fall between the cracks. And my good friend fell between the cracks and he died. And I don't want that to happen to anyone else. So I remember him. I think about him regularly. And this sculpture is, in many ways, a memorial for him. And for all the people who were ignored or weren't listened to, who the medical system didn't help. So, and that's where this new growth is important. It's not just a tombstone. Something good is coming out of it. There is life growing out of this, and he is not forgotten. And still very much loved and missed. So, if you are struggling with any suicidal thoughts, you can always reach out to me. Email me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can message me anyway. Reach out to those who know you best. Talk to friends. Talk to People who will help you and will support you and will believe you and will be there. Family, friends, co-workers, your faith community, whoever it is, find someone and let them know you're struggling, because if they don't know, they can't help you. So find someone you trust. There's lots of different numbers you can call to speak with someone anonymously and just have them listen. So if that is the only way, find that and reach out to someone, because you matter. You matter to a lot of people. I can say that, and I will tell you right now, one of the things that I did when I was struggling most, I thought that the only reason people would miss me was because of all the things I did for them. You know, I was the breadwinner. I made income, or I made breakfast for the kids, or I helped out at the whatever, and I participated in this and that, and I couldn't think of anyone that I hadn't helped, that I didn't owe or have a responsibility to. And I thought, you know, that's it. People only love me because I'm useful. And so I thought about, and I found one person, and I've never met this person, but I know she loves me. I know it. And anytime I would think about how I was worthless, or how I was only loved because of how much worth I had to give to those people, even if it wasn't true, even if they loved me, even if I didn't do the whatever, I would think about her. I would say, no, she loves you. She loves you, and you get nothing. She has nothing from you. She's never met you, but I guarantee if you walked up to her and said, hey, I need help, she would say, I love you. I'm here for you. So if you need that person, I'll be your person. I'll be your person who loves you, no matter what. Everything. Everything that you may have done that you're ashamed of, or you've been berated for, or other people dislike you for, I won't. I love you. So take that and hold that. And I hope this has been useful. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Sorry it got a little intense. Shake it out. Go play with some Lego. And like I said, I love you. Okay? That's all for today. Thanks for watching. This is Grace from Graceful Bricks.